Despite the smiles, it wasn't the meeting that Volodymyr Zelenskyy had hoped for. Joe Biden dispatching the vice president to the Ukrainian peace summit.
I am here in Switzerland to stand with Ukraine and the leaders from around the world in support of a just and lasting peace.
Nearly 100 different countries represented, but the leaders of India, Brazil, and Saudi Arabia didn't show. China not attending at all. Justin Trudeau, the Canadian representative, announcing $52 million for a variety of Ukrainian causes, including support to return thousands of children kidnapped and resettled in Russia.
Everyone can agree that taking kids away from their families, trying to erase their language, their culture, that's an element of genocide. That's pure colonialism.
To help stop that from continuing to happen, Ukraine hoping to push back the Russians with an air defense system that Canada purchased a year and a half ago, but is yet to be delivered or even built.
Of course, we wish the system was already in Ukraine, because we are in a situation when every piece of air defense matters.
Ukraine also supports a French plan to send military trainers into the country, something Trudeau would not say if Canada would join.
And we continue to do training in many different locations. This is something that we will continue to be there for Ukraine.
While the summit participants described the situation as a war, they offered few solutions to solve it, only agreeing on nuclear safety, food security, and the kidnapped children. And even then, important countries like India, Indonesia, and South Africa did not sign the communique. Despite that, Zelenskyy viewed the summit as a success.
When every step is worked out, the path will be opened for the second peace summit, and thus for ending this war, for a just and lasting peace.
Unsurprisingly, Russia slammed the gathering, saying they'll agree to a ceasefire with Ukraine if they withdraw from annexed territories, Tracy, something the Ukraine and the West rejected quickly.
On the domestic front, Mackenzie, did Trudeau say anything specific about MPs and alleged foreign interference?
Yeah, Tracy, the Prime Minister had a lively scrum with reporters. At one point, he lost his voice and needed to take a quick break.
At least Doug Ford swallowed.
But when it restarted, Justin Trudeau would again not clarify what he thinks is wrong with a report from parliamentarians that says that there are MPs who wittingly participated in foreign interference.
The government has already highlighted there are a number of the conclusions of the National Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliamentarians report that we don't entirely align with.
Trudeau pointed to differing views from NDP leader Jagmeet Singh and Green Party leader Elizabeth May, who've both read the unredacted report, with Singh saying there are traitors in Parliament and May disagreeing, saying she has no issues with anyone in the House of Commons. But what neither did was call into question the report itself, which Trudeau and Public Safety Minister Dominic LeBlanc have now done on 3 separate occasions. Tracy?
All right, Mackenzie Gray reporting for us in Switzerland. Thank you, Mac. Ukrainians in Canada have been watching developments at the Peace Summit closely. And with another plan for the coming months, it's offered hope that global powers are being galvanized to bring an end to the war without giving in to Vladimir Putin. Heidi Petracek speaks to Ukrainian-Canadians on their hopes for the future.
A lot of younger guys I know, most families still back home.
Stanislav Serebryakov spends a lot of his time helping fellow Ukrainians who came to the Maritimes fleeing the war. He's been in Halifax since 2014, but has plenty to worry about with friends and family still there.
With 2 years and states dragging their heels and all their allies dragging their heels in 2023, a lot of people was kind of given up on hope that big support can come.
But he feels this year is different. For him, the joint communique signed at the Ukraine Peace Summit, though not unanimous, is a sign of what could be the beginning of the war's end.
And bringing all these criminals and Putin into a criminal court.
But officials at the summit in Switzerland acknowledged peace will be a process. Ukraine and the West rejected Vladimir Putin's terms for final resolution issued Friday, which included Ukraine abandoning its intent to join NATO.
The urgency of the moment needs to be understood.
The national group representing Ukrainians in Canada hopes momentum won't be lost now that the summit is over.
No more waivers, no more exceptions, really taking on the Russian war machine. We need Russia to continue to be isolated.
Time is ticking as attacks in Ukraine continue and more soldiers and civilians are killed.
I think between now and November is where we're going to have to see a lot of things put in place.
The outcome of the impending U.S. election, he says, could affect crucial American support, depending on which way the votes swing.
In the event that Donald Trump gets into the White House and suddenly walks away or starts moving energy away from any sort of binding international agreements that the United States has in place.
Volodymyr Zelenskyy has plans for a second peace summit within months. While in Canada, Justin Trudeau intends to gather foreign ministers for a meeting on Ukraine soon. Heidi Petracek, Global News, Halifax.